Hi, this is A. Wesley, that Annie who tells it like a TI is. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Something I'm going to talk to you today about is Watch What Happens Live, which happened this past Sunday on the 5th with Robyn Dixson and Eboni K. Williams. I know they had said last week when all this stuff came out about Juan cheating, and she said it on the the reasonably shady podcast last week, and that's when all of this big drama came out about, and it was all over Twitter, and people were out in Karen and not Karen. People were out in Robyn, and Robyn got so much backlash from it that people were saying she's on a reality show and she's supposed to be showing her story. Why did she lie about Juan cheating on her? This wasn't the first time Juan cheated on her, and it was just so much backlash. And so Andy had to do her Watch What Happens Live. Now some people said Andy drilled her, but when I watched the replay last night on Peacock, he read out the tough questions, but to me he wasn't as stern. He wasn't as stern as he could have been, because I've seen some interviews where he had interviewed certain other cast members, and he held them more to task than he did Robyn. Now I will say that he did give Robyn some shady looks about some of the answers that she had said, but he wasn't grilling her like people were saying. And so it started off, with him introducing Robyn and Eboni, like he always does, and then after he got through introducing them, he said he had to get right to the point. So he got right to the point, and he said, Robyn, you said on the Reasonably Shady podcast that Juan did cheat on you during the pandemic, and you did not divulge that story. You not divulge that story on the show. Why was that? Robyn gonna try to chime in and say, well, it was a year and a half ago. It was 2 years ago. Her and Juan had worked through that. And they were on good terms now, and that's why they went on and had the wedding at the end on the season finale and stuff like that. And he was saying, but that was a part of your life you could have shared with us during. She said, well, like I said, he said, but don't you know, people were saying that by you being on a reality TV show, you're supposed to tell your story and not do it on your podcast behind a paywall. She said, well, I did talk about it on the show when it was free, but I just wanted people to hear the rest of the story. And he said, but that's why people were saying that you was not being transparent. He said, Robyn, you said that you told other ladies they need to be transparent. She said, well, ain't none of the women on the show really telling their whole story, their full story. Everybody's leaving some stuff out. And then so Andy asked Eboni. He said, Eboni, what do you think about it? Eboni said, well, he said, because you've been on a reality show, you've been on a reality show, you was on ROHNY. And then Eboni said, well, it's subjective. She said, what it is, you could choose what you want to show on TV, on a reality show, or you could go and be an open book. And she said, that's what I think about it. She said, but yeah, I kind of agree with Karen. Some things that you do have to keep to yourself, and some things you could put on TV and stuff like that. And so he said, so Andy said, so you agree with? She said, on that part about the people that don't, everybody on reality TV shows only show much. She said, that part I agree with. She said, but not telling the part about Ron cheat about Juan cheating on her before the wedding. That's why the wedding was kind of pushed back and held up. I don't agree with that. So I'm so glad, because it was some people. I was watching some YouTubers and some people on Twitter. Oh yeah, they shouldn't have had Eboni on there. Eboni didn't ask for. Eboni did ask the. Eboni did answer the question. She answered the question in a polite, professional way, like she always does. And so I didn't really see no problem with that. And then he said, and then Andy said, you would see why some people would say that. She said, but I like I just said, everybody don't share everything. And she was saying, well, it was over with, it was back. He said, what is this about Juan paying for this woman's hotel room? She said, well, Juan told me that him and the woman had broke up, and that the woman had lost her wallet, and she was dating some kind of NFL player from the Ravens, and what it was, she had lost her wallet, and she couldn't and she didn't have no money to pay for the hotel room, so Juan said he paid for the hotel room, and that was all of it. And then Andy say, Robyn, you know that story sounds like BS to everybody. Robyn, yes, sound like BS to me too. But that's what Juan told me, and I believe him. I said, girl, you crazy. I would have been questioning Juan, what's going on, you know. And the woman said she had receipts and stuff and all kind of stuff. And then so Andy was giving her a side eye, and she kept saying, yeah, I thought it was BS too, but that's what Juan told me. What was Juan told me? What was Juan told me? And then Andy said, well, Eboni, what would you think? What did you think about the story? Eboni said, I would have some questions for Juan. No offense, Robyn, but I would have some questions for Juan for paying for a hotel room. And Robyn looked kind of funny and stuff. And then so she said, well, what is this story about you talking about Karen and stuff? She said, well, like I said, don't nobody tell their full story. There's some stuff that I know about Karen that Karen did to Ray, but I don't go out and out Karen business like she did me on the show and stuff, talking about Juan cheated on me with this woman who was blonde hair and stuff like that, because I kept a lot of Karen business secret, He said, well, he said, well, you know, there was a lot of commotion about it. He said, I'm gonna read you a tweet from what Chris said, and then so he read Chris's tweet, and Chris T said, wait a minute, Giselle and Ashley, they all knew about this. And they kept it from the show and other cast members and stuff. And like I said, I'm just paraphrasing, but I do have the real tweet. I'll probably put it in the video. But anyway, she said, well, I don't know why Chris did that. Ashley didn't know nothing about it. I don't know why he brought an Ashley name up in it and stuff like that. And she said, as far as he said, well, what about Giselle? Giselle, she could have told, well, Giselle is my friend, and me and Giselle talked this over, and what it is, Giselle felt that it wasn't a place to talk about it. Now, Giselle just wanted to be messy and start trouble and stuff like that. And I think Andy kind of peeped that out too with Robyn. And so after that, she said, well, everything is all right now, and me and Ron, we didn't work things out, and he's not with that woman no more, so we didn't got married, so it's and then after that, he said, and then Andy said, that was a lot, wasn't it, Robyn? She said, yeah, it was a lot. He said, originally, I was supposed to come on here and talk about y'all weddings and talk about y'all wedding, how pretty it was. But, you know, this came up, at the last minute. I was saying, now, Carlos King outed you, and y'all had to do something because y'all didn't want Carlos King to think that y'all was letting the green-eyed bandits get away with a whole lot of stuff. And then they played a little game with Eboni about the housewives, and if she thought something was wrong, she would hit the gavel. I think that was a little cute. And then he talked to Eboni real reality TV show and what's going on and stuff. And she said, yeah, she said it's a certain part of reality TV show. And she said, if you're a person that's gonna sign up for reality TV show, you got to come in with expectations that people are going to want to know something about your private life, something about your life. She says about the expectations, and the other expectation is what expectations you really want to show and stuff like that. And she said the fans do have a certain expectation that you are supposed to share some stuff, but you don't have to share all of your stuff. And then he did so. Andy said, "What about what do you think about the reboot of the ROHNY? What you think about it?" She said, "Well, I'm rooting for the ladies." And she said, "I'm rooting for the ladies because the cast is she said the cast is a representation of New York. It's diverse. The people are smart. They're classy. They are doing stuff like that." And then so he said, "Well, do you know any of the ladies personally?" And Eboni said, "No, but a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend know at least one of the ladies on there." And she said, "Oh, I just leave it like that." And Andy was kind of scared. He thought I could see that shock look on his face. He thought Eboni was gonna say something she wasn't supposed to say. And then he said up under his breath, "Good job, good job." And then so next thing you know, they came back from commercial, and he asked Eboni, said, "Oh, Eboni, by the way, I forgot to mention about your new show, about your new syndicated show." She said, "Oh yeah, my new syndicated show is a judge show." She said I'm working with I'm working with Byron Allen. He said, "Oh yeah, Byron Allen is good. He's a good person to work for." She said, "Do you know what channels are going to be on?" She said, "Not yet, but it's going to be syndicated. It's supposed to be in the fall." And he said, "Don't forget about Eboni's book, Bet on Black." So he had been promoting the book all through the thing, but he kind of after commercial break, he kind of forgot about the book. But then he told Eboni that he wish her well and stuff like that, and hope her series pop off and stuff like that. This is A. Wesley. That ain't even tells it like a T.I. is. I am out. I know I said I was out, but there was just one more thing I had to say. I couldn't wait to Andy move on, because even Andy was tired of Robyn lying and stuff, and I was tired too. So I kind of glad that he did give Eboni the second half of the show to talk about her stuff, because I could tell Andy was tired of listening to her lies just like me and stuff like that. I think this is gonna be like Karen said on her podcast. This is gonna be this is gonna start off season 8, and so that's why